Hey everybody, welcome to my video. As you can see, I have my guitar here in front of me, obviously unfinished, but we're getting close. We're getting close. I got the holes drilled for my tuners, control cavity drilled out, hole for the jack, magnets installed, neck profile like I like it, a nice thick Les Paul, early Les Paul style neck. Two holes here. We're going to have a volume control and actually a freeway switch that'll do several different functions. I'm not going to have tone control. Me personally, I don't like tone controls on guitars, but I am putting a push-pull pot here, and the pull function will just be a tone cut. So, you'll still have some tone control there. And so it's been sanded up through all the grits from 120 to 180, 220, 320, all the way up to 400. It's very, very important, guys, to not skip your grits when you're sanding up through on, any woodworking project that's going to have a fine finish on it. Probably sitting there wondering, well, looks like he's got everything else rounded out, but where are the pickup cavities? Well, there's a reason behind that. I don't have my pickups yet. I'm still waiting on those. They are a very special set of, I want to say humbuckers, but not really. Each one's like a dual single coil set of pickups that are a non-standard shape. And so I'm not going to route out my pickup cavities until I get those in my hands, because it's a non-standard shape. Can't wait to get them and show them to you and talk about them and talk about their hand wound set, and talk about the guy that's the really cool guy that's making them for me. Hopefully I'll have those in a couple of weeks, and we're just going to do a video with just hardware. But not having the pickup cavities routed is not going to stop me from getting one coat of protection on this. And so here's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to start with some homemade Danish oil, which is a third boiled linseed oil, a third mineral spirits, and a third of a good high quality polyurethane, just equal proportions. I found that works really good. This stuff, this boiled linseed oil, makes the grain pop. You guys that build guitars or woodworking guys, you know about that already. That's nothing new. And this guitar is going to have a lacquer finish on it. So that means in between this coat of oil and the final lacquer finish, it's going to have a coat of shellac on it, as a buffer to seal the oil in. But I'm about to go outside and mix up a fresh batch of that, and come back in, and we'll get ready to put this on, and it'll dry a few days, and then I'll come back and put some shellac on it, a good coat or two of shellac, and then it'll be ready to scuff up and put the final lacquer on. And hopefully in between all of that, I'll get my pickups and build a route for those and show you that. I've got my back plate here. It's ready to go. Got the magnets in that. I think you've seen the last video. Goes on just like that. I got a little relief right there cut out to get that off of there. So it's really turned out. It's really turned out, and I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I was, apprehensive with all of this top setup here and using this kind of wood like that, but I'm very happy, and I hope you've enjoyed following along with me on this as much as I have enjoyed having you follow along with me. So I'm going to quit talking and go mix up some Danish oil and come back and get started getting a coat of protection on this thing. See you shortly. Hey everybody, it's been about 24 hours since I put that coat of oil on the guitar, and I wanted to show you the results. It's kind of dry enough that I can handle it now. Remember it was Danish oil that I mixed up, a third polyurethane, a third boiled linseed oil, and a third mineral spirits, but here's how it turned out. And I hope that shows up. The lighting in here isn't great, and it's a little too late to get outside and show this to you, but man, that really turned out good. Linseed oil darkens darkens the wood a little bit, but it also really makes the grain pop. And so I'm real happy with that. Now on the back, it really brought out the red in the I wasn't expecting that. So that's kind of a pleasant surprise. I mean, just look at that. There's no dye or anything in that finish. And it just really highlighted the red, you know, and that discoloration of the maple. And so very, very happy with that. Hopefully that will focus there and you can see. Let's try it there. I hope this is focusing. One thing I'm not too happy about is you can see my headstock right here. I've got my headstock logo in that. Let's see if that will focus in, maybe get it to focus right there. And that was laser engraved, and then I just inlaid that with some epoxy and some red pigment. And you know, it's just not really showing up. We'll have to see what it looks like with a gloss finish. But hey, if it don't show up that good, then you know, so be it. But yeah, there it is. So we're going to let this sit for a few days, and hopefully by the time I get my pickups, I will be able to get those pickup cavities routed, and then it'll be time to put on the rest of the finish. So pretty happy with the way it's going so far. Well, the project has been going pretty good up to this point. I can't complain. I haven't had any major boo-boos, haven't made any big mistakes, but you know what? All good things must come to an end. And so right now, dealing with a pretty major boo-boo, pretty major mistake. And earlier in the video, you would have seen me spraying on shellac, spraying this, gave a little shot of that in the video. And so what I did was, after I put on the oil finish, I let it cure for days. And then I come back with some shellac sanding sealer. This is just like a 1 pound cut of shellac is all this is. And I wiped on a real thin coat of that to seal the oil up. And then I come back with a can of spray shellac, like a barrier coat. And my thoughts were to spray this on and then come back and sand it off. And I'll have a nice smooth finish sanded to about a 400 grit or something like that. And I could put my lacquer over the top of. Common practice. Well, this can must have been old. I got it from the store. I think I actually picked it up from Walmart. There's a date on the bottom, or a code on the bottom. Maybe it's a date. I'm not sure. But anyway, this never really dried. It just stayed tacky. You could just put a fingernail in it and peel it off. And so I waited a couple of days, and still the same thing. I tried to sand it off a little bit, and it just was gummy, just clogging up the sandpaper. So as best as I could, I sanded it back a little bit and sprayed another light coat on it. And just the more I worked with it, the worse it got. And so unfortunately, I have spent the last couple of days stripping all of that back off. Yeah, all of that, which is a pain in the butt. You know, it's like denatured alcohol and steel wool, and just going at it, stripping all of it back off. And so it's oh gosh, very disheartening to have to do that. But you know what, it's nothing you can't recover from. It just adds a lot of extra work to everything. But what I did was the smart thing. Now I've got some real good fresh, this is real shellac. This is real fresh shellac. The flakes, just the blonde flakes from Brooklyn Tool and Craft, which I mixed together with everybody's favorite Hunch Punch ingredients, some Everclear, 190 proof. That's good stuff. I feel like drinking this stuff as much problem as it was to strip the guitar. And so I've made a jar of 1 pound cut and a jar of 2 pound cut. The 1 pound I'll wipe back on to seal the guitar. And the 2 pound cut, I'll probably go back on with a brush, like a thick coat that I can sand back, and then we'll have the smooth surface for the lacquer. And so I just put these flakes in a couple of hours ago. They'll need to sit about 10, 12 hours, probably dissolve. I'll give them a good shake when I walk by. So anyway, it doesn't get any fresher than this to have flakes and Everclear. So this will get the job done. Should have done this to start with, guys. So if you're thinking of using shellac, be very, very wary of what you get in the store. This is cheap compared to this. This is a $30 bottle of liquor and a $35 pack of flakes, but this will last me for a long, long time. I can just mix up what I need. So, yeah. Anyway, so back to it.